Think about your calories like money. Spending smart one day is not going to make you rich. But if you have consistent money habits all week, then you could come away with the check. Calorie deficit is the same thing. What's going on, everybody? It is Andre Williams, your friendly neighborhood athletic fitness coach from the AW Fitness Club. That is my online community where I help people that are 30 and beyond get fit at home in 90 days without counting calories or lifting weights. That is my specialty. That's my thing, right? We're doing a content series. This is part one. And the series is called Why Your Weight Loss Tactics Are Failing. Why your weight loss tactics are failing. I have this nice whiteboard up for you with some information, and we're going to talk about the information on this board. All right. Like I said, this is part one. There are many tactics to weight loss. There's many tactics to weight loss, and you could attack it from one of two sides. You could move more, or you could eat different. And sometimes people, they go on these crazy exercise routines. Some people are doing crazy diet. You're onto something. But the thing about fitness is it's two parts. So fitness is your relationship with food and movement, not or movement and movement. So if you want to be optimally fit, you have to define your relationship with those two things and optimize your relationship with those two things. Like I said, there's many tactics. People are doing keto, carnivore, vegan. Well, I don't know if vegan people really care about the diet like that, but either way, calorie deficit, that's one of the major tactics. It's one of the major tactics, but you can be trying to do the calorie deficit and still failing for a number of reasons. I have 4 reasons here why your calorie deficit weight loss tactics is failing. All right. We're going to talk about just this one today. Like I said, this is a series, so we'll come back and talk about these other 3. But right now, we're going to talk about this is the main issue that people are having. They have a daily over a weekly mindset when it comes to the calorie deficit. And I'm going to explain to you what that means. Before we get into that, I want to let you know something about me. I'm not counting anything. I don't count calories. All right. This is a stretch for me because I understand it, but there's no one tactic that is going to get you fit. All right. Because like I said, it's 2 things that you have to focus on at the same time. And if you're just focusing on one side, it's never going to work. Even if you get all of these things right and corrected, it's still not going to be a long-term solution for you. You need a system that is encompassing a set of tactics that work in harmony, and they kind of optimize each other. They strengthen each other. You need a real system. All right. But we're going to talk about this daily over weekly mindset because it is so common. I just seen somebody yesterday and they're like, I'm in 1,200 I'm eating 1,200 calories and I'm in a 600 calorie deficit. They're doing it aggressive. They're trying to lose a little bit more than a pound a week. So when we talk about a calorie deficit, why do you want to be in a calorie deficit? Because 3,500 calories is equal to 1 pound. So if you are in a calorie deficit by 500 for 1 week, 500 times 7 is 3,500. So now I should be losing a pound a week if I'm in this 500 calorie deficit, right? So that's the preface behind it. The thing about it is all 4 of these things, they kind of bleed into each other. And if you have a problem in one area, it could be causing a problem in another area. All right. We really do have to address all these, but mindset is where you got to start. All right. If this is the tactic that you're going to use, you have to understand this. So my daily maintenance calories, just for an example, just to keep it clean, say my daily maintenance calories is 2,000 calories. So they're right here. If my daily maintenance calories is 2,000, that means my weekly maintenance calories is 14,000. All right. That's important because you can be in a deficit over the course of a week while still hitting your maintenance a couple times a week. The problem is when this person says, my maintenance is 2,000, I'm going to be in a 1500 calorie deficit, and I'm going to be in a 1500 calorie deficit every day. And I'm going to stick here for 3 months. All right. You ain't going to do that. You're not going to do that. You're going to wig out, man. You're going to wig out. And that's why you want to have your cheat day on the weekend. And it's your whoever's birthday party. And you're going to go wig out and you're going to have some drinks. And then after you have the drinks, you're going to see the pizza and you're going to go ahead and eat 5,000 calories because you've been murdering yourself in the kitchen. So, look, we got an example here. All right. Monday, let's say Monday, I go ahead and I do 1,600 calories Monday. So I'm only 400 calories under deficit. Tuesday, I do 1,800. Does that say 1,800? Yes, it does. 1,800 calories. I'm only 200 calories under the deficit. Wednesday, I hit maintenance. I was not in a deficit on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm back to 1,600. I'm 400 calories underneath. Friday, we did 1,700. Saturday, I was only under by 100 calories. And then Sunday, I hit maintenance again. But guess what? I'm satisfied. I feel good. I know I'm not going to wig out tomorrow because today I hit maintenance. All right. And it was lovely. That means I had dessert. You know what I'm saying? Overall, what did we do? In the week, we consumed 12,600 calories. All right. I'm still in a deficit because my weekly calories is 14,000, right? I only hit the deficit by 1,400, which means what? I didn't lose a pound this week, all right? But I didn't lose a pound this week, but if I do this again, then I could lose a pound next week. Why? Because there's other things that account for you actually burning calories. There is passive weight loss and there's active fat burn. You can do both and you should do both because, like I said, fitness is your relationship with food and movement. How do you do it? Well, that's another conversation, but it is possible. It is possible and you should do it because you need a system. All right. Now, I am able to sustain my calorie deficit, even though it might go a little slower. I am happy because this week I did not wig out on the weekend. All right. I was just at the Giants game on Sunday. All right. And how about them Giants, man? We're sitting there at the game, and there was a family sitting in front of us, and they had a little baby, and the dad was holding the baby. He gave the mama the baby and left and came back with two pizzas. And the pizzas they were cheesy, the hot steam coming off them. I could see the cheese. The bread was smelling so nice and lovely. I'm like, man, them pizzas smell good. But guess what? I didn't wig out and go get me some pizza. I chilled because I you develop strength, guys, and not just mental strength. You can develop physical strength. Metabolically speaking, it's called metabolic flexibility. The ability for your body to switch between fuel sources. If I didn't eat food and there's no food digesting in my stomach for 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, I'm not gonna wig out. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna pass out. I'm not gonna get the shakes. I'm not gonna get a headache. I'm not gonna get dizzy and fall out because I'm metabolically strong. You know what I'm saying? And you have to build that. But that's wrapped up in one of these other topics that we're going to talk about in the next part of our series. But it's not a sprint. You don't have to go ahead and say, I'm going to lose a pound this week because I'm not going to eat, right? Hold your deficit and don't wig out. Saying think about it from a weekly mindset rather than a daily mindset and say, it might go slower than I want, but at least it's going to go. At least I'm not going to quit, right? That's a better mindset, right? Yeah, man, we're going to continue the series. We'll talk about this next one next time. Digestive, absorption, utilization, elimination. Those are the 4 stages of eating, all right? When you eat food, you digest it, then you absorb it, you utilize it, you eliminate it. If you're not doing any of those things effectively, optimally, you got a leak or a plug in your system and it's going to cause your weight loss tactic to fail. All right, that's next time. I said I'm Andre Williams. If you don't know me, I used to play ball with the Giants. Man, them damn Giants. Like all I can do is laugh at this point, man. Now I'm a fitness coach, but I'm a different kind of fitness coach. There's the industry. It's got this bodybuilder mindset. I was never a bodybuilder. I'm not a bodybuilder now. Does that mean I'm not strong? I don't got muscles? No, that's not what it means. I'm strong and got muscles, but it's not from lifting weights. And I did not get my fitness knowledge from reading a book. Of course, I read the books, but what I'm saying is it's my experience that really is the foundation of my knowledge. Of course, I read the books. Of course, I study these things and I look into it, but my perspective, my philosophy is very different. So you're not going to find a lot of coaches that tell you not to count calories, and that's just because they don't know any other way. That's what they read in the book. All right, but there's multiple ways to do it, and you need a system, not just a tactic. Otherwise, everything that you built is going to come crashing down when you wig out, and you don't want to do this no more. You don't want to put the plate on the scale. Right? I think it's kooky. I don't do that. All right. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the follow button so that you can tune in for the next part of the series. And if you are really interested in this style of fitness that I'm talking about, body weight exercise, exercise at home, all of those kind of things, and you really want to learn how to eat better, you can join my fitness club. I run a community on School, and it's free to join. And you can actually go through a workshop with me. We'll work out for 10 days and we'll cook for 10 days and we'll talk about all of these topics for 10 days. Workshop is called the 10 Keys to Athletic Fitness. The link is in my bio, and you can join it. And, it's on demand. There is no specific time that you have to be active to get into the workshop. But as soon as you join the community, I'm right there with you. That would be excellent. I will see you guys next time for part 2. Peace.